It is said that if you do good to others, good will come to you as well. Do you really think life is designed that way?
Why do you believe that beyond a ceiling, doctors are not rising in their social reputations?
How this health insurance these days suiting the needs of millennial population these days? What are the changes you see that it is suiting?
You are from Chandigarh. Recently, the Supreme Court has talked about the apartmentalization in Chandigarh, which it has warned, and it wants the carbonisation to be maintained in Chandigarh. So, what are these two concepts?
Tell me, what are the kind of reforms that are needed in WHO?
May I come in, sir?
Yes, come in.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good
Good
afternoon.
afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, sir.
Please be seated.
Thank you, sir.
Please give a brief introduction about yourself.
Sir, I am Anjali Garg. I was born and brought up in Chandigarh, and I have done my schooling from DAV Model School, Chandigarh. Then I opted for medical science, and I got admission in VMMC and Safdarjung Hospital, Delhi. Sir, in my leisure activities, I do bhangra and play badminton. So this is just
Anjali,
brief about me.
you are an MBBS, that too from a very prestigious medical college. Why did you not pursue a career there and instead chose to join the civil services?
Sir, I think both civil services and doctor's profession are valuable services of our nation. But sir, my motivation to pursue civil services, it occurred during the clinical postings in my college when I observed various hardships faced by the patients, and along with the healthcare problems, there were many larger issues at play. Sir, I would like to relate an incident. Sir, when I was posted in a gynecological emergency duty, a girl 12 years old came to me, and I realized that she was raped 6 months ago and she was even pregnant. On further talking to her, I realized she had not been gone to school ever, and there was no primary health center in her village. So that really broke my heart, and I felt that being a doctor, I can cure her, but I want to have a larger impact and have a platform where I can be a position of authority and can make some decisions and impact a larger level.
Okay, that's a very noble idea. But you tell me, Anjali, why doctors are wary of serving in rural India?
So there are various reasons why there is a shortage of doctors in the rural areas. Sir, number one is that sir, when doctors are specialized in MD or MCH and DM, so there is not adequate facilities in the rural areas as per their skills. So one reason is that they feel it is not adequate. Number two is, sir, there is safety problems for women also, that they do not feel secure there. And number three is again, sir, the facilities and mostly the infrastructural part, the transportation part, that is bit weaker there. So,
Meaning thereby, even after 75 years of independence, successive governments have failed to create necessary infrastructure to attract doctors to serve in rural India. That's a sad commentary on the working of bureaucrats in the country.
no, sir. Sir, since 75 years of independence, we have increased an outreach to the rural areas, and there are primary health centers, no doubt. But still, according to more facilities in urban areas comparatively, there is this problem.
One thing which worries me, that I find a lot of violence against doctors in various hospitals and medical colleges on one pretext or the other. But the other aspect is the civil servants. Even if a civil servant is incompetent, nothing happens to him or her. Why? Can you analyze the situation?
Sir, I feel that true that there is more violence against doctors than civil servants. So I feel there are reasons. Number one is that doctors are directly dealing with the lives of the patients, and that is a very emotionally connected problem, and it is a critical situation. And patients and their relatives want immediate results. So the outrage and anger is more. And number two is, sir, I feel also there is more safety and security provisions provided to civil servants than in the hospitals.
Okay, that's wonderful. There is a perception emerging that big pharmaceutical companies, they have taken over control the entire healthcare system in the country. Do you agree with this perception?
Sir, I feel that India's pharmaceutical industry is one of the largest industry, and supplies 20% of the global demand of generic drugs and has more than 3,500 manufacturing units. So it is doing its work in a very good manner. But there are some issues where there is a bit of dominance of them. But I feel in the larger area, it has led to the prices at a very feasible rates to India, and we are growing in the pharmaceutical industry too, sir.
Once you join the administrative service, look into this aspect. This is a very important area that a doctor should focus on. Last question before I pass it on. You must have heard of Morgan Stanley. Morgan Stanley is a company, is a bank, and it submits its report on working of various countries. In its latest report, Morgan Stanley says and believes that next decade is that of India, and India will become a locomotive of change in the world economy. Do you agree with this report or findings of Morgan Stanley?
Sir, I agree with the report that India will become a leader in the world economy in the next decade. Sir, I feel because number one is that India is at the stage where demographic dividend is highest, so we can reap the potential of the youth. Number two is India is the 5th largest economy and is growing at a good growth rate. So that is one factor. And number three, sir, with the boost of manufacturing facilities like the production linked incentive schemes and the bulk parks which we are developing, India has a lot of potential for the sunrise sectors also. And also MSMEs contribute a lot to the growth, and that will also help in India achieve a better growth in the future.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Dr. Anjali, how are you?
I am doing good, sir. Thank you.
Anjali, if you look at your DAF, it suggests that you have close connection with Punjab.
Yes, sir.
Both your parents are from Punjab. But I can see that, and though currently you're living in Panchkula, which is in Haryana, but you've taken Chandigarh as your home state rather than Punjab. You've taken Hindi as the qualifying language rather than Punjabi. This is despite the fact that you have mentioned that you like Bhangra and all. How do you affiliate with the Punjabi culture? Do you have problem assimilating with the things?
Sir, I was born in Chandigarh and I have lived 20 years in Chandigarh and I have studied there. So I have read Hindi since my childhood. And sir, my parents are from Punjab, but I have not actually lived there for any long time. So, but I affiliate with the culture because since Punjabi speaking regularly occurs in my home, and sir, I perform Bhangra and there is a culture of Punjabi in my home, so I affiliate in that manner. But because of my studies and because of my further education in Delhi, I have not much connected to the Punjabi language and culture.
Today is Lohri,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Tell me, who was Dula Sarkar and why, why this folk tale of Dula Sarkar is associated with Lohri?
Yes, sir. Today is Lodi. Sir, there is a story that there was a Dula Bhatti who saved 2 girls, Sundar Mundariye, from the Mughals. And that is why we celebrate Lodi. That is one reason for celebrating Lodi.
Why would Mughals threaten somebody in Punjab? What was the issue?
Sir, as far as my limited knowledge, sir, I have read that the Mughals, they assassinated Jahangir assassinated Guru Angad, and Guru Tegh Bahadur was also assassinated by Mughals. So I feel there is a connection, and because Mughals wanted to dominate and there was some kind of problems with the Sikhism. So, but I am not very well read about this, sir.
Okay, you can always read it. When you were discussing this, the status of medical sciences and the doctors thing, I always wonder that everybody want to aspire, I want to become a doctor. It is reputed thing. But we never come to know of very many celebrity doctors in our country. If we talk about US, we talk about other places, the doctors do command a certain social reputation, celebrity status. Even in the COVID times, we came to know of many doctors in different countries, not in our case. Why do you believe that beyond a ceiling, doctors are not rising in their social reputations?
Sir, I feel that doctors have a very reputed image in India also, and people respect them treated as gods.
Taken. But why not celebrities?
So because they are more involved in their profession and they are more working towards their profession, and also there is more patient load, so they are overloaded with work also, and they do not have much time for socializing and going to maybe larger functions.
This is something that worries me because it is reflected in many other decisions also. For example, when it comes to relationship, they are more in inbreeding, doctors marrying doctors, doctors dating doctors, rather than being more of a social acquaintances and other places. Do you believe that it is time when the social life of medical fraternity be revised a bit?
Yes, sir. It is normally true that doctors are dating same doctors and in the profession, because we spend more time there only, and I have spent 5.5 years in Safdarjung Hospital, so I have met those people. But definitely, sir, with the coming times, we have now telemedicine and more technology coming up, and we can have doctors coming into the social fraternity too, so that they also enjoy more work-life balance.
If you talk about COVID, experience of COVID from the medical perspective, suggest 3 changes that this epidemic has taught us, which we should bring to the medical education in our country.
The 3 changes that there should be changes are needed in the medical education for preventing the further outbreaks. The first is that in the medical curriculum, there should be more focus on the preventive part. Now, totally more is of curative part. So, like a COVID appropriate behavior or any preventive measures. So, number 2, in the medical curriculum, we should include more of a medical research, because that is, I feel, lacking. And number 3 is, it is more of a, again, there is a less focus on the rural areas. Now, NMC has come up with a family adoption program in which students will be connected to the rural areas. But till now, there was not much focus on that. So, we need to focus on that also.
Thank you.
Anjali, extending that talk a little more longer, how do you see agriculture and culture?
Ma'am, I feel agriculture and culture is related. Like in Bhangra, ma'am, it has emerged because of the agriculture, because the farmers used to harvest the crops and there used to emerge some steps, and after the harvest festivals, they used to celebrate with Bhangra. So I feel that is a real connection. And ma'am, agriculture booms, the culture booms, I feel, ma'am.
Great, great. Anjali, recently there was a news related to MTP Act. Are you aware of this? Must be.
Ma'am, the US
no, here only in India. Here only in India. Medical termination of pregnancy.
The unmarried girls are now allowed.
Yes. So there has been increase in weeks.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. That is 24 weeks. Right. So it was in news that she has been denied of the right to terminate her pregnancy. So what is the implication behind? Do you think that MTP Act, I mean, exactly what is the catch-22 situation, right? And what changes could be brought into this?
Ma'am, according to the news which I have read, it was that since Supreme Court has given the guidelines that unmarried girls will be given importance at the MTP Act and they can go for legal abortion. But the changes have not been in the Act regarding this. So the doctors also, because it is a strict law, so doctors do not go into that, and thus they are denied. So I feel that there should be amendments in the Act itself according to the Supreme Court guidelines, so that there is more clarity on this and unmarried girls are given equal importance for the legal abortions.
But I would take your understanding over the fact that, you know, there are various pills available in the market, right, to terminate the pregnancy. But that is not under control. So that is also a way. How do you see it? How can you control this?
I think we can control it in various manners. First is, in the immediate steps, we need strict pharmacovigilance, where there is proper drugs are given according to the prescription only, and we can involve technology to monitor that. And in the long term, we need more awareness for the women, so that they are taking the safe abortion practices, and they need to know by the talks of experts that it is not safe after certain weeks of their
to take it.
Pregnancy.
Great. Since you belong to medical field, you know, that insurance part, health insurance, you know.
Yes, ma'am.
So how this health insurance these days suiting the needs of millennial population these days? What are the changes you see that it is suiting?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, nowadays, the health insurance is suiting the needs of the millennials. number one is that now they are including the OPD charges as well, which was not included till now. So 70% of the charges today are OPD charges. So that is one benefit. Number two is that since maternal care is one of the most important part of a female, so now the maternal services are also being included in the insurance part. So that is way that they are suiting to today's needs. And number three is, ma'am, the telehealth and tele-mental facilities are also, mental health is also being encouraged in the insurance part itself.
And those who cannot avail the insurance facility, what changes would you like to make for them at your own personal level?
Ma'am, one is the All India scheme of Ayushman Bharat, which caters to 50 crore of the people in India. And the problem remains of the missing middle people who are 30%. For them, we can have some insurance policies which are affordable, and we can give some incentives to them as well, so that they get more insurance. And I mean, long term, we need more awareness regarding the need of health insurance.
Okay. My last question to you, universal immunization program.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? What exactly it is?
Universal immunization program is a all India program where there is a vaccine coverage for 8 to 10 diseases in a free manner to everyone. And ma'am, the special focus is on the areas which are less covered by vaccinations, and we more target at pregnant women and the children, so as to prevent diseases like tuberculosis, measles, mumps, diphtheria.
There has been recent addition into this. Are you aware of this?
Ma'am, the recent addition is the pneumococcal vaccine against pneumonia, and there is rotavirus vaccine against the diarrhea. And the Cervavac vaccine has come for the cervical cancer,
exactly.
But it is going to be included.
Yeah. To which age group it is going to be given?
Ma'am, 9 to 14 years of age group.
Great, Anjali. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Anjali, during the transmission of nerve signal, the signal in the nervous system, what is the usual step-by-step process, and what is bypassed during a reflex action? Just give me the steps. You don't have to explain the entire thing.
Ma'am, when a signal is passed to the nerve, ma'am, it goes till the brain, and it could be, and the reaction could be in various manners. It could release a certain hormone, like in posterior pituitary, there is oxytocin, or ma'am, it can directly stimulate the muscles, which further contract.
And how does it happen in reflex action? Where does the final information goes?
Ma'am, in the reflex action, the action is taken at the spinal cord level. So the information goes to the spinal cord level, and it comes back from the spinal cord to the effector organ.
When we talk about respiration, what are the types of respiration in human body? And when we were talking about the proning in COVID patients, if you remember, how was it impacting the proning, the oxygen level in the body?
Ma'am, there are two types of respiration, the thoracic respiration and the abdominal.
Is it two or three? Three types of respirations are there?
Ma'am, thoracic, abdominal and thoraco-abdominal, I'll need to brush up this, ma'am. But proning, ma'am, the message of proning was that it led to increased oxygen concentration in the lungs by equally diffusing it.
Okay. What are the different types of lung capacities that we talk of?
Ma'am, there is inspiratory volume, there is expiratory volume, ma'am, there is vital capacity, total lung capacity.
And what is dead space?
Ma'am, dead space is which is remained after we totally expire the volume of air.
It's been seen recently that the disease load of non-communicable diseases in India has been increasing over time, so much so that now the lower socioeconomic strata is being afflicted more by the NCD rather than the communicable diseases, which was the case previously. Why is it happening? What are the trend scenarios right now because of which the NCDs are increasing?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, today in India, non-communicable diseases contribute to 62% of the deaths. And now the behavior is changing towards the non-communicable diseases because of the reasons. And number one is that now the lifestyle has been changing. Now there is more focus on the fast foods and less nutritious food. Number two is sedentary lifestyle is increasing. There is increasing stress. Number four is there is increased intoxication of alcohol, drugs. And ma'am, also air pollution is also a major contributing factor. So these risk factors are now leading to the problems of non-communicable diseases. Ma'am, also now at the second level, there is less screening services which we can detect earlier. So in that way also we tend to occur patients where they are already in the complex stage. That is one problem also.
Okay, you are from Chandigarh. Recently, the Supreme Court has talked about the apartmentalization in Chandigarh, which it has warned, and it wants the corburization to be maintained in Chandigarh. So, what are these two concepts?
Ma'am, the Chandigarh has been constructed in a very well planned manner, and Le Corbusier was responsible for the urban planning, in which there were apartments according to prescribed guidelines. So Supreme Court has said that apartmentalization will not be allowed. That is, there will be guidelines. If a floor has 3 floors, we cannot further divide it. So that is apartmentalization.
What are the unique features of Le Corbusier's architecture that you see in the city of Chandigarh?
And there are various unique factors of Chandigarh.
List just 3.
Ma'am, first is that there is a self-sufficient sector system, which is based on a grid system. Ma'am, number 2 is that there is no sector 13 in Chandigarh, because the rest sectors are a multiples of 13. So that is a unique feature. And number 3 is that, ma'am, it is a rare epitome where urban planning is integrated with the green space planning. So there is 50% of green space in Chandigarh.
Okay, good. Thank you, Anjali.
Anjali, which are the 2 important international summits that India is going to host this year?
So one is the G20 summit.
Obviously.
The second I need to see.
Second one is SCO Head of States Summit. So what is the difference between Head of State and Head of Government as far as SCO is concerned? And which meeting is more important? Head of Summit's meeting of SCO or Head of Government's meeting of SCO?
Sir, I need to read upon this.
Like, who is the head of the state in India?
The president is the head of state.
And head of government?
The prime minister.
Right. There is a controversy going on, which is about some states referring to union or center, right? Whether the central government should be referred to as union government or central government. Why this controversy, and what is your take on it? Which term is preferable or correct?
So there is a debate going on of central or union, because there is a perception that central means a more centralizing tendency and it is a unitary feature. So the government has said that they will use union government, which gives a perception that India is a union, and
Which
it is also
the central government has said this, or some state governments are saying this? And what does the constitution say?
The constitution says Article 1 is that union. So I also feel that union should be the word used.
And there is also a controversy about doctrine of basic structure. So what do you think? The time has come for us to maybe review the doctrine of basic structure, whether it is in line with constitution or not, rather than the other way around, where we are testing everything on this doctrine. We should now be testing this doctrine itself.
So I feel that this basic doctrine structure, which came in the Keshwananda Bharti case 1973, is in line with the constitution, and it seems to protect the basic structure of the constitution. So I feel that we should abide by this.
And so you are not in conformity with what our vice president is saying. Should people holding high constitutional position watch their words?
Sir, there is a right to freedom of expression and speech, which is a fundamental right and is available to every citizen. So they have an equal right on them, but they are a public figure and people are influenced by their speeches. So there should be a self-restraint and a self-regulation on the speech.
Okay. Tell me, what are the kind of reforms that are needed in WHO?
So the WHO needs certain reforms. So one is that there should be decreased bureaucratization, as there more expenditure is on the budget of the expenses there, and more focus should be on the preventive care and towards the more vulnerable countries.
How much budget is contributed by the members? And is that a problem as far as the agenda of WHO is concerned?
Yes, sir. So there are assessed contributions and there are voluntary contributions. And there is a issue that the assessed contributions are contributing less. Since 20 years, it has been the same, and it is mostly the voluntary contributions which are contributing. So in that manner, we can have a more better criteria and transparent criteria for increasing the assessed
Okay.
contributions.
My final question to you is about badminton. You like playing badminton.
Yes, sir.
So, what is your view? Like, should these sports bodies be headed by politicians or by former sports persons?
Sir, I feel whoever is at the highest level, there should be a transparent mechanism, and we can have both the politicians as well as sports person for different kind of expertise.
Okay, which is the regulating body of BAI? BAI is the regulating body for badminton, and who is heading it?
Sir, I'm not aware. I will.
Thank you, sir.
What do you mean by fintech?
The fintech refers to financial technologies, and sir, it refers to the technologies like economic services which are provided through technology, like insurance.
What is MSME?
The MSMEs are the micro, small, and medium enterprises constituted by the MSME Act, and they are the growing wheels of economy.
Okay. Green hydrogen?
So green hydrogen is the hydrogen which is produced through renewable energy means.
Okay. One last question. It is said that if you do good to others, good will come to you as well. Do you really think life is designed that way?
Sir, I do feel that if we do good to others, good will happen to us. And though in short term, there might be some happenings which are not right or which we look upon that this is not right, but in the end, everything happens for good and there is a reason for that.
What will give you a sense of fulfillment?
So to serve the public life, public people will give me a sense of fulfillment, and making my parents proud will also make me proud.
Thank you very much, Anjali.
Thank you,
It
sir.
was nice talking to you. Wish you a bright future.
Thank
All
you.
the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Sit down, Anjali.
Thank you, sir.
So this is your first attempt at the UPSC?
No, sir, I gave last interview in 2020 attempt.
Okay.
First attempt.
Which attempt is this altogether?
So third.
Third attempt. And second at the interview?
Yes, sir. So second time I missed the prelims. So in the first attempt I reached till interview, then missed the prelims, and now this is.
So what was your score in the first attempt?
So for 171 in the interview.
171. Yeah, that's what my understanding is, that is a benchmark minimum.
Okay, sir.
That is the minimum you should get, but you are capable of getting 200 plus also.
Thank you, sir.
You are a very energetic person, very honest, humble, polite, and very clear in your views.
Right, sir.
That is very important.
Yes, sir.
So your, as far as your expression is concerned, communication skill is concerned, it's wonderful.
Right.
Whatever you wanted to say, it reached us very clearly.
Right, sir.
That is what is important. So what is your assessment of your performance today?
Sir, I think I did better than my last interview of Drishti IAS.
Mm-hmm.
I felt I did better than
You have done, by and large, you have done pretty well, no
Right,
doubt
sir.
about it. Factual questions, you
Mhm.
either you know or you don't know.
Yes, sir.
You are not supposed to be knowing everything under the sun. If you don't know, candidly admit that you don't know.
Yes.
Nothing will happen.
Mm.
But wherever you know, try to give very logical argument and some streak of your innovative thinking, out of the box thinking. If you are able to display that quality of your personality, it will take you very high.
Right, sir.
That is very important. Stay honest. You should not only be a person of integrity, you should also appear to be honest in your approach. So honesty of purpose is very important. Stay neutral, stay calm, stay composed. These are the essential requirements of a civil servant. That under duress, you should not buckle under duress. If any pressure is exerted on you, you should not succumb to that pressure. Just hold on to your fort. So forthright, firmness in your approach.
Yes.
Okay, so that is very important. Some questions may be asked just to see whether how you react under pressure. So that is one. Normally, trend is that nowadays only factual questions are asked, and candidates are not generally intimidated by board members. But it may happen because trend changes
Yes,
every
sir.
year, so you don't know. So be prepared for that. Answer questions clearly and confidently. So you have a wonderful personality based on all these parameters. You have a wonderful personality. you could engage on a variety of issues very well. Somewhere here and there, because you are a medical graduate, so a lot of questions may come, may not come also.
Yes.
There are two trends. One trend says that, oh, she is a doctor, let us not ask her any questions on medical field. Another is that too many questions on medical. So it may go either way.
Yes.
We don't know. But medical sciences, you should be very clear about that. And you had clarity. Some technical questions on respiration and breathing, which is a very fine distinction between the two, that you should
Yes, sir.
again update your
technical.
information.
Yes.
It's purely technical. So I don't think the people sitting this side will have that much of knowledge to ask you that kind of a question. But still. So, and general knowledge, but when is your interview?
The 1st Feb.
1st Feb. Anyway, some time is there. You must have been, we tried to ask you some questions, but many questions have been left. So questions are not important, the way how you respond to those questions. So go through newspapers on a daily basis, note down main points every day, whys, hows, what, and all that. So once you are an intelligent person, once you go into all those aspects, you will understand what exactly is the subject. Supreme Court's issues, so many issues, Supreme Court ruling on so many issues. So what are your personal views on the role of Supreme Court? What are your personal views on the statements given by government functionaries at various levels? So there you have to have some sort of neutrality. Don't take any extreme view.
Right.
Don't take any extreme view. Even if you feel internally that I should be taking an extreme view, avoid taking an extreme view. So if you are able to take all these precautions, we are pretty sure you will be not getting anything less than 190 to 200.
Right.
You are capable of getting, and a very good candidate. If you have done really well in your medical science paper and your GK, general studies, then you are through this time.
Yes.
And it's a good rank also. Cholo, all the best to you. What about your dress and all? I think our colleagues will probably advise you something on
Yeah,
this.
you can wear, you are going to wear this saree.
No,
only?
ma'am, I'll wear a light colored grey sari.
Okay, okay. And the fabric would be cotton
Maybe
or some specific. Yeah, but if you are able to carry silk, then cotton silk would be better, since it is, the fabric should be light,
Right, ma'am.
right? That's all right. You have a pleasing personality.
Thank you, ma'am. So I want to ask, like I took a stand for union government. So is that was fine? And so regarding
Not
the medical,
taking a stand doesn't mean that you should not take any stand. I said you should be neutral. You should be balanced. You should not be one kind, like Supreme Court judges don't know anything. They have just passed a verdict like this. That kind of a statement should not happen.
and sir, in medical also, I kind of tried to take a balanced stand
Very
and
balanced,
a positive
very,
stand.
Very balanced.
And sir, was optimism like seen?
It was there.
It was
Yeah,
there.
very much there. Optimism was there. That is why I am saying that you are capable of scoring, getting much better marks than what you got last time.
And this time I focused more on structuring and giving some facts.
Exactly.
Last time I thought I missed the facts, like I gave in non-communicable diseases and everything. So I'm improving on this.
Just improve on that and hope for the best, and have confidence, belief in yourself.
And do know the fabric of the sari, from where it belongs, whichever you are wearing. So question could be asked on that.
That's true.
Yeah.
It may be asked for anything
reflects certain
from earrings to your
culture,
pendant,
yeah.
anything they will ask.
It could be.
It has to catch imagination of board member. That's it.
Yes, sir. Right.
All the
Okay, all the
best.
best. to
Thank you, sir.
All the best.
Thank you, ma'am.